Hi, welcome to the Shiko Math Practice Lab and Algebra 2 lecture series. And so today we're going to start lesson 1.1. And this lesson, we're going to focus on the order of operations here. Okay, and now let me show you the worksheets we're going to work on. Okay, so here is the worksheets for the order of the operations, and it's for lesson 101. And so the one I have in the blue color, those are the examples we're going to go over in this video. Now on the right hand side, those the black color ones here. So we have those are the practice sheets you can use and try to practice and to see you'll be able to duplicate what we learn in these videos here. Okay, and so now I'm going to go to the whiteboard and let's start the lessons here. Okay. So the order of operation is very, very important. It's the fundamental of the algebra. So the first things here, if they give me some like a number to add or multiplication, so which one I do first here? So the way we use is we call the PEMDAS. So if you remember, it's the PEMDAS. So what's that mean? So that means here, right? So the P, that means parenthesis. All right, so the P is a parentheses, and well, maybe I should write out like this. Okay, so here, maybe that would be better. So the P, that means the parenthesis. That means the parentheses take the priority. Then E is the exponents. Okay, and the N is the multiplication. Okay, and the D, we call this a division. That means divide by. A is we call this addition. And the S here, we call this subtractions. Okay, so that means when we do that, we need to follow the order. So for examples here, and then later we can do a lot of some examples over. Okay, so if I have, okay, so let's see here, 3 plus 2 times 4 to the square minus 5. Okay, so in here, the first one's here. What do we need to do here? Because the parentheses take the priority. So we need to work inside the parentheses first, right? Now inside the parentheses, 3 plus 2 times 4 to the square. So that means the next thing here is exponents take the priority. So we need to do the exponents here. So basically this one will be, so I'm doing the parentheses, so this will be 3 plus 2. So inside the parentheses here, 4 to the square is what? 4 to the square is 16. Then minus 5, right? So then the next thing here, multiplications. So that means still, I'm still have a parentheses here. I'm still taking, so here, now I'm going to do this one first because the multiplication take the, the priority and the additions here, right? So this is 3 plus what? 32 here, right? Then still is a minus 5. Remember the parentheses, so then we need to take the priority for that. So this is 35 minus 5. So that's why it's 30 here. The order of operation is quite important. If, a lot of students, they know how to solve the equation, and then finally when they try to figure out the answer, then sometimes they mix up. So for example, like here, 3 plus 2 times 16. This is a commonplace. Student will make a mistake. So what do? They 3 plus 2 first, then times 16. So let's not write, right? Because the multiplication take over the priority of the additions here. Okay, so remember, right? So this is a very important rule, PEMDAS, PEMDAS here, right? So it's a parenthesis, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtractions here. All right, so let's take a look at the problems here. Okay, so the problem number 1 is here is 18 minus 6 plus 4 divided by 2. So as long as I see here, so okay, so this parentheses, right, is the most inside the parenthesis, take the priority. So what is here? 6 plus 4 is what? It's 10s, right? Okay, so now I can write this one here is 18 minus 10 divided by 2. Right? So still then I have another parenthesis is a bracket, right? So that's why I need to do this one inside first. So what is 18 minus 10 is 8 divided by what? Divided by 2. So that's why I get a 4th here. Okay, so now let's take a look at the next ones here. This is 5 plus 2 to the third and the square. Okay, minus 5 to the square. Okay, so be very careful. One of the common mistake a lot of kids make is like they put this 2 to the 5 to the square plus 2 to the 3 and the square. That's not right, all right? So here, be careful. Parenthesis, take the priority. So you cannot do anything here. So now, inside the parenthesis, this is exponents here, right? So I need to do this part first. So this one will be 5, right, plus, right? So what is 2 to the third? Is 8, right? So it's 2 minus 5, 2. And you cannot become 5 to the square plus 8 to the square because the parenthesis take the priority. So what is the next thing you need to do? You need to take a look here, right? So you need to add it. So 5 plus 8 is what? It's 13 to the square minus 5 to the what? 5 to the squares, right? And now the next thing here, instead of doing minus, you need to know because the exponents take the priority. So the 13, if you square that, what is that? This is 169, right? So this is 169. What is the 5 you square? This is 25, right? So the 169 minus 25 will give you 144, right? So this is my answers here, okay? Okay, now let's take a look at this one here. It's 14 divided by 8 minus 20 divided by 2. So the first thing here, you will see, okay, the parenthesis take the priority. So here's a divide. So I need to work on the inside parenthesis first. Then inside the parenthesis is a minus 20 divided by 2. So which one take a priority? Yeah, the divisions or multiplications right here take the priority. So I need to do this is a minus 20 divided by 2 is what? It's 10. That's right. Okay, so now in here, because this is still is a parenthesis, so I need to do inside the parenthesis first. So this is divided by, so what is here? So this one's here will be what? Negative what? Negative 2 here, right? Then you can divide it. So this one is 14 and then negative 2. So what is you have here? Negative 7 here. Correct? Okay, so now let's take a look at this ones here. This one's here, right? So we know the multiplication, divisions. So in here, the first thing's here on the top of here, right? So this is the division. So this term has to take the priority. And then this lines here is a division also. So I know I'm going to still have this division. So now this is 6, right? So 9 plus 9 divided by 3 is what? It's 3, right? Okay, now add 15. So the A, so this is A minus 6. Okay, so the division take the priority over the multiplication and the, no, division take the priority over the addition and the subtractions, right? So this is why I put the divisions here. Now I need to figure this one out. So 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 15 is what? It's 24 here, right? A minus 6 is what? Is 2. So what I have here is 12. All right. Okay, now let's take a look at these ones here. So these ones here, so 12 plus 6 divided by 3 minus 2 times 4. So this is the divisions and this is the multiplications, right? So these two take the priority. So I said this is 12. So 6 divided by 3 is what? Is 2, right? Now here, this one here is 2 times 4. So what is 2 times 4? It's 8, right? Now you can combine it. So it's what? It's 14 minus what? 14 minus 8 is equal to what? It's equal to 6, right? Okay. So be very careful about which one you take the priority and okay, so let's do the problem number 6 here. So here still, okay, so you have these divisions here. So division hold it place here. So now on top of here, so do you do 6 plus 4 first or divided by 2? No, because division multiplication, what? Take the, take the priority. So the bottom is the same. 4 divided by 6, take the priorities, right? Okay, so now let's take a look at how is this one. So this is 6 plus, right? 4 divided by 2 is what? Is 2, right? So 4 divided by 6 is 4 over what? 4 over 6 minus 1. Okay, and now because the division, so you still need to hold here. Now you cannot use a 6 minus 1 or 2 minus 4 over 6. So this one take priority. So you work on the top, work on the bottom. So this is 8, right? So 4 over 6 is here. 4 over 6, we know from Algebra 1, if you simplify it, it will be 2 over 3, right? So this is 2 over 3. So basically you divide by what? You divide by 2 both, right? Divided by 2 on the both top and the bottom. So this is 2/3 minus 1. Okay, so here this will be A. 2/3, so I can common denominator 1 is 3 over 3, right? So this is negative 1/3, right? So do you still remember from the Algebra 1, how do you do this final answer if you have like a complicated fractions? So you use the top, you flip the buttons, right? So you flip the bottom. Bottom is 1 over 3, so you flip the bottom. So this is 3 over 1. Don't forget you have this negative sign. Doesn't matter where is your negative signs here. So you flip it. So now the final answer is negative 24 here, right? So this problems here is kind of a pretty good problems here, and try to help you to also review a little bit about what you learned in Algebra 1, how do you minus 2, the fractions, and how do you simplify complicated fractions here. Okay, so the next ones here, okay, so next ones here is they give you the value for each variable. Then they want you to find the value of this expression. So this type of the problem sometimes, that happens in the SAT and the ACT exams. Basically, they want to test you is the order of operation or not. So the way you do it, so I typical just plug the number, right? So here, let's see here, this is A times B. So A is 8, right? Times B is here, so you multiply by B. B is negative 3, so be careful. Put it like this way so you don't count like the A minus 3. Then D, this is negative what? 1/2, right? Okay, so now this is a negative. So top is negative 24. Then this is negative 1/2, right? Okay, so now negative, negative, these two can cancel, right? These two, negative, negative become what? Become positives, right? Okay, so now in here, this will just be, so one more time. So what happens here? You flip the buttons, right? So you flip the buttons 2 over 1, so it's what? It's a 48. All right, okay. Now let's take a look the next ones here, right? So you just need to be very careful when you write it. Okay, so this one's here, this is the 5, all right? So 6c, right? 6c, so it's a 6 times, so what is a c? C is 4, minus a times b, b is what? Negative what? Negative 3, right? Then plus 10 times d, d is what? Negative 1/2 here. All right. So basically that is now in here, because this is the outside parentheses, right? So you need to work on the inside first. The parentheses take the priority. So you need to work on this one. So 6 times 4 is what? It's 24, right? Okay. So here the problem I'm going to get you is the negative sign, positive sign. So this is negative 8, right? So the second term really is here, right? So this is negative 8 times negative 4. So what is this one here? Be careful, negative, negative become what? Become positives, right? So it's positive 24. Then the last terms here, let's take a look. The last terms here is 10 times negative 1/2. So 10 times negative 1/2 will be what? Negative what? Negative 5, right? Because 10 times 1/2 is 5 and you have a negative sign. Okay, so now I can, because I need to do inside of my parentheses, right? So 24 plus 24 minus 5 is equal to what? Is equal to 43, right? So inside the parenthesis first, then 5 times 43. So what is here? 215, right? Okay. Okay, so this is 215. Like I say, if this type of problem happen in the SAT, here is the, be careful here. This is the place they're going to get you, right? So the negative sign is the same thing as here, the negative sign. You need to be very careful. Okay, now let's take a look at another one. So c squared minus 1. Okay, so here the divisions here, c, so it's 4 to the square minus 1. B minus D, right? B is negative 3 minus D is minus 1/2 here. All right. So like in here, we also need to be careful. So 4 to the squares, right? So it's take the priority. So the exponent is 16 minus 1. Okay, so here, be very careful. This is where, when the exam, they're going to test you, is those negative signs, right? So this one would be negative 3. Negative, negative is what? Plus what? Plus 1/2. Did you get that? Okay, so here, then this one's here, 16 minus 1 is 15, right? Then negative 3 plus 1/2. Negative 3 is negative 6 to the 1/2, right? Then plus 1/2. Okay, I need to go up here so I can have enough space here. Okay, so here, this is 15. So what is the bottom going to become to? Negative 5 over what? 1/2, right? So one more time. So this is important. So how do you simplify it? You flip, right? So you flip here. So this is 2, and then this is 5. Then you have a what? Negative sign. Don't forget the negative sign. Now you can simplify it. So how do I simplify? 5 and 15 can be what? Right? So 15 divided by 5 is 3, right? So what is the final answer? It's a negative what? negative 6 here. Right, so very important. So like this type of problems here, they test you, you know how to flip the bottom fractions, right? And also be careful about the negatives, right? Okay, let's take a look at these ones here. A over D plus 6B minus 5C. Okay, A, so A here, so it's 8. D, oh, the D, these fractions, we need to be careful, right? It's 1/2. Plus 6 times B, negative 3, be careful. See here, minus 5 times C, right? C is 4. Okay, so now let's take a look. How do we do this one here? A and the negative 1/2. One more time, what do we need to do? Flip, right? So flip here. So this is 2 over 1. So don't forget this negative sign. All right. So here, be careful. Negative 3 times 6. What is here? Negative what? 18. Minus 5 times 4 is what? It's 20. Okay, so now negative 2 times 8 is what? So it's negative 16 minus negative 18 minus negative 20. So negative 16 minus negative 18, what is here? So this is, be careful, right? It's negative, so it's negative 34 minus 20. So this is negative 54. Get that? Okay, so this is all, all these 5 problems are very good problems. They will tell you, to try to test you, not only the order of operation, also they review the algebra 1, how do you flip and how do you add a negative number. It's extremely important here. Okay, so now let's take a look at the last ones here, right? So the last ones here is B minus C squared. Okay, so let's put here, this is minus 3, right? C is minus 4, see here, to the square, plus 4 times 8, plus 4 times 8, 4a is 8, right? Okay, be very careful here, so we do the what? Parentheses first, right? Okay, so now here, this is what? Negative 7 to the square plus 32. Okay, so what is negative 7 to the square? Negative are going to become positives, right? So in here, be careful, this square, right? Going to apply to the negative 7. So basically, this is negative 7 times negative 7, right? Be very careful here, plus 32. So negative, positive, right? So this is 49 plus 32, right? So the 49 plus 32, so it's what? It's 81. All right.